When I was nursing, when I went back to nursing in my 40s, I was working in a nursing home. I was working as the nurse in a residential nursing home. And I had a favourite. She was lovely. She was old medium. And she was just lovely. And she'd say silly things to me. At the time, I thought it was silly. And she'd say things like, "Oh, I've just seen you with a great big gift above your head." And I'd say, "Oh, what was it?" And she'd say, "Oh, don't tell me that, dear." All right, that's silly. And then one day I went in and she said, "I knew you were here. I knew you were here. I could feel you." And I said, "No, you saw me parking my car out your window." "No, I didn't. I just knew you were here." I said, "Because I used to take my little dog with me. I had a little Shih Tzu and he used to come with me." And I said, "No, you saw Barney run in." She said, "I didn't. I just knew you were here." So we developed this really special relationship. And then one day I said to her, "Listen, I've been doing this work with the angels. Would you mind taking part in an experiment with me?" I said, "I'm going to give you some healing. I'm going to call on this Archangel Raphael to use me as a channel for healing on you." Because this dear old thing, she couldn't walk at all. She was crippled with arthritis. And so the carers would take her to the dining room in a wheelchair. But occasionally she'd like to try with a friend, but she couldn't get very far. She could just about get from the chair to the loo in her room. She was in terrible pain. So I said, "Right, I'm going to rub the cream on your legs anyway. After I've done that, I'm going to give you some healing. And I'm going to call in Archangel Raphael to work through me. And what I want you to do is do the same." So, "Oh, yes, I'll do that, dear, yes." So I sat, and I literally sat on a footstool. I'd put the cream on her legs that I used on her legs, and then I just sat with my hands on her knees, and I do a prayer, and I did my prayer, and then I called to the angels, and I called to Archangel Raphael, and I said, use me as a channel of healing energy, and let me help this lady with her pain. If that's okay. And I sat, and immediately this incredible feeling went through both my arms, like an electric shock through my arms. And I had this pressure on my shoulders. And I closed my eyes, and the room seemed to go green. It was absolutely incredible. And I just went into this blissed place for a few seconds, just for a few seconds. And then I heard them all calling me, and I thought, "Oh, I'm going to have to go." So I brought myself back into the space, and I looked at her, and her eyes were closed. This was a lady in her 90s, and she looked beautiful. She looked beautiful. She looked serene, beautiful. And she opened her eyes, and she said, "Oh, my dear." She said, "It was amazing. There were two angels standing behind you, and they both had a hand." I'm going all goosebumpy telling you this. "They both had a hand on your shoulder, either side of you." And she said the whole room was filled with these tiny, tiny little green balls of light. And when I looked at them, they were all little green fairies. And I said, "How do you feel?" She said, "Well, I just feel so calm." And I said, "Oh, isn't this great then?" Okay, well, I'm going off to do whatever I had to do. The carers came in to take her to lunch, and she walked with her frame. She walked right out of her room and right down this long corridor and into the dining room without a wheelchair. I'm not saying, I can't say what happened, but whatever it was, it worked for her.